Tommy Bowe, he's just headed away. He's going to he's getting an X-ray. I think with Connor, he got a stinger. The shoulder was getting better all the time, and through the half-time period, it improved sufficiently that he felt that he was okay to go. And so we said, look, try it, see how it goes. And he felt that he probably could have played on, but we felt that you've probably seen how sharp his pass normally is. It wasn't as good as it normally is, and he probably had a little bit of probably a 15 to 20% deficiency in his pass. And so we said, look, we're better off just to get you off, look after you, and we'll get Kieran Marmion out there. So he was keen to try and see how he went in the second half, because it was improving all the time and improved through the halftime break. The fine margins. I think the yellow card was crucial. 10 points in 10 minutes. It's I feel a bit sorry for Johnny. He's trapped in by 3 players, and it's very hard to get out. But when that happens close to the line, that's sometimes what happens. Penalty count of 10-4, and we copy yellow card. It's tough, but we know in that area it's always a risk. I think Wales were pretty clever in what they did, and they played some really good stuff, and it made it a real challenge for us. So, the fine margins that I mentioned, obviously the line-out drive at 15-9. If we score that and convert, it's in around the 15-metre mark. You'd expect to convert it. You go 1 point ahead, and suddenly they're chasing the game, not us. Charge down, the ball slips through the fingers of Tig, and I thought he might have gone close to scoring. And even in the first half, I felt they were probably a bit lucky when CJ went up the left-hand touch, and we were looking for fast ball, and we got the penalty advantage, but that was it, So they're all very fine margins, and you've got to get the fine margins on your side when you're playing a Welsh side as good as they are, as desperate as they are. And I thought they played really well. Their set piece was really strong. Their defence is always strong, They attacked well, especially when Johnny went off to get checked out. They went straight through around his area, and I think it's something that we'll learn from. And the guys who came into the game, I think at least it's a really good opportunity for Kieran Marmion in a test match of that magnitude. I thought did really well. Paddy Jackson came on for Johnny and kicked that crucial goal to put us back up 6-5. And did some pretty good things when he came on later in the game. Almost slipped through a couple of times. So, you can wallow in your own self-pity, or you can try to build from this. And with what we've got coming up next week, we can't afford to wallow for too long. It's still a huge opportunity for us. We can still finish in the top half of the Six Nations, and that's still something that's incredibly important to us, and that's what we've got to turn the page to now. Unfortunately, it means that we are no longer in the hunt to win the championship.
There's been a huge amount of talk about consistency in this side for the last year, 18 months. So after you win, then lose 2, beat New Zealand, lose, beat Australia, then lose in Scotland, beat France last week, and lose here. How frustrating is that for the players? And how much can we read into this goal of consistency, a third kind of up and down results that are coming?
Look, it's obviously hugely frustrating to lose those couple of games, but I think the difference now is that when we talked about consistency maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it was really good performance, really poor performance, really good performance, whereas we've got a reasonable level of consistency, and we just make a couple of on our slightly off days, we just make a couple of silly unforced errors, which at this level are massive. We had a few opportunities to score there, and we either didn't convert them through, for example, the maul try, or else simple knock-ons that and they cost you. dearly. So look, in terms of consistency, we always strive to be better, and we always try to win the next moment. But I think in terms of overall performances, we do get a reasonable level. It's just those silly little mental errors.
Again, we haven't really turned our attention to England. We've got too much respect for the quality of the Welsh side, and we knew how under pressure they were, and when you're under pressure and you're at home and you need to deliver, that was our full focus. Now we will turn the page, and I think for us it's about the championship. It's not about somebody else's record. It's about our performance. It's about what we want to try to get out of the championship, and we're still a chance to finish in the top half. And you finish in the top half of a championship which has France playing well, Scotland playing well, Wales bouncing back today, and England obviously playing really well. It's so competitive, and I think right from the start when we first chatted about the championship about 7 weeks ago, I felt it was going to be the most competitive championship, and even though we're talking about England scrambled out of here with a very narrow win themselves, and they scrambled to a narrow enough win over France as well. I've no doubt Scotland will go there with some real desire and a really good plan to try to undo them tomorrow. At the same time, England are looking stronger week by week as they get guys back from injury, and to have some of the guys they've got coming off the bench tomorrow is probably the envy of most teams.